Well, for this material we are going to use the camera coordinates. To show you the difference, with the UV coordinates, as you can see, the texture sticks to the model itself, whereas with camera coordinate it moves around with the camera. For this effect we are going to use the camera coordinates. Well, to visualize you better, I'm going to use the checkers texture and it gives an artifact. This is because when we are using camera coordinates, we have the Z component of the camera, which creates these artifacts. To remove it, we just have to remove the Z component using the combine and separate node. And voila, we have removed the artifact. We are going to use this image. Going forward, we are going to use the image. Well, this image becomes our base layer. It is a starry night sky that I found on Google. Although stylized, it works best for this type of project. And now we have a starry sky inside of a cat. Well, there are too many stars for my liking, so I will remove some of them using color ramp. Well, using the color ramp, I have made the blue. To show you an important tip, you should never use a black color, an absolute black. To show you better, I am going to lower the contrast of our image, and as you can see, we have used kind of darkish purple color instead of absolute black. What absolute black does is it creates artifacts when you are rendering. As you can see, we have it a bit higher than the absolute black. So now we are going to change it back to punchy, and voila, we have our blue stars. Now this is the mask I created off screen. To show you, we are going to pass it through UV coordinates and the mapping node and visualize it using Ctrl Shift and click. As you can see, it is quite pretty in itself. And one more thing, if you are going for a great look, you should use the camera coordinates, but we are not going for that. So I'm going to use the UV texture coordinates. The thing about blue, green and red in the same texture is it creates an optimized look. Not only optimized look, but an optimized shader. To split the three masks, we are going to use the split RGB node. What this does is splits all the masks. The red one on the nose, the green one on the forehead, and the blue one all over the body. And now the second part of our layering. Well, I have used a texture for this. Although this texture is quite low resolution, so it would be a problem in the future run. So I've scaled it up using the mapping node and scale it 3 times its normal size. Now I'm going to use the mix color node. The mix color node, yes, and now I would set it up factor with 1 mixed to the multiply, and now using the blue mask and put it into the B, we have created and masked a cosmetic look all over our cat. This kind of looks like fur, and fur meant to be fur. So now, as you can see in the image, there was supposed to be a constellation on his head. For this I have used another texture to show you. Well, it kind of looks bad, but using the mapping node I've scaled it down to, and this is all over the body, which we don't want. Now we are going to use the same multiply node or the mix color node that we set to multiply, and multiply it with our other texture, the second layer texture. What this will do is create a better look, to be honest. Now if you see the final render, there are outlines all over its body, which creates contrast to the black background. To create it, we are going to use the Fresnel node. What the Fresnel node does is, it is used in various type of things like the glass or the sea itself. Now to create outlines, we are going to use the color ramp. And give it a kind of contrast look. And yeah, this works for me best. So this is going to be our outline of the cat. If you want to color it using the color ramp, use the white and give it some other color like blue. Blue works the best for me in this scenario. Now give it more contrast. So yeah, now we have finalized the look. Well, one thing for sure, now we are going to use the green mask and multiply it with our before created texture on the forehead. And this have created a texture on the forehead, the texture which had the constellation. Now I'm going to mix all the layers with each of them using the add of the mix color. Now for finalizing the look, we are going to use the principal BSDF and put the mix node into the base and the emission, and put the emission to a higher number so that it glows. Although I don't like the too much glow, so I'm going to remove some of the glow of the base layer. Although you can use the exposure value and the gamma value to create a more contrast look, you can also lower it down using the color ramp. And this is a final shader. Thank you for watching.